Hey everyone, this layout I made quite a few years ago and it has inspired me. It was sitting on top of my pile of layouts to put away, and then thinking about this alphabet sheet, I decided to find a photo that I could work with and copy Scraplift myself. So going to have a little play with getting all these letters onto the layout. Again, I'm using it's like an A4 piece of cardstock, an 8.5 by 11. Just adding a whole pile of gel medium onto the page, which is a bit silly because gel medium dries a lot quicker than I could get these crazy letters off, especially the ones that had to have the inside little pieces taken out. But anyway, got there in the end, just putting glue on. I haven't put my glue in my paintbrush away, so it's okay. So just using my tweezers to get out these letters, and I'm just going to randomly, well, they're kind of randomly. They're random, but I'm placing them in correlation to each other, having a pick about them so that I don't want to have too many, if I can help it, any at all, letters or numbers next to each other that are the same, but I do want them to nestle into each other. And voila, power of magic, I've come back and we've got a beautifully huge glary piece where I've got all those letters stuck. And then I had the idea to make this second layout. So I am just putting all this on here, gluing, sorry, that was a bad explanation. I sprayed some water and then I'm just dropping some of this Distress Oxide onto the page and spritzing it and making some ink splatters, but also filling in. So when you drop that colour in on top of the water, it just disperses through that big, the water puddle. And then the fun thing to do with Distress Oxides is to spritz some water on there. And then, I don't know why I was drying it, because you need to wait a minute and then lift the colour up. Because then you'll get that bleached look where bits of colour is missing. Now, you would normally do it with paper towel, but I did not have any paper towel, so I used wax paper, which kind of worked, but it's not as absorbent as paper towel. Surprise, surprise. Anyway, so my idea was to use this leftover alphabet sheet as the design feature. So I'm going to put it over top of this mixed media, and you can see how the blue just shines through, which is really lovely. Looks really fun and nice. And then I'm just going to cut off any excess. It is sticky, so it does stick to my scissors and annoys me. And then I'm just going to add some more because it's mixed media. How could I not have more? I just wanted more to sit out the side of the alphabet as well. It's just looking a bit plain otherwise. So again, I spritz the water on, and then I am just putting the colour down, adding a bit more water, and then adding some more colour. Now you could be more careful about this if you wanted. You could definitely just add some colour and water to a piece of plastic or an acrylic stamp block if that's how you wanted to add the colour. But it's just really a bit fun to just see how it just disperses through the puddle and how fun it looks. Anyway, here's my two backgrounds just from the one alphabet sheet, and you can see I'm going to layer my photo here on this one, and I did spell out XOXO with the letters on this layout. I was a little bit sneaky and I am just going over it with my black paint pen so it stands out a little bit from the letters, because it'll be a different colour obviously. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to just have a little play with some layering pieces. I do love this card, but I know I'm probably not going to use it. So instead, I'm going to use the background because it's text. I'm going to use some black cardstock, and that way it gives a bit of that ripped edge down the bottom, because I previously had ripped that black cardstock. And then I am layering the word one underneath that one. I'm going to use this little square here to the left there. Well, that's where it goes, where I put it the first time. Isn't that funny? Sometimes you put things down the first spot and that's where they should stay and that's where they end up. but even though you might doubt yourself and then move it a couple of times. So adding another piece, I just thought this orange and pink might be a nice little colour combination. So I'm going to glue down these layering pieces. This is a really fun time to watch apparently, because I'm just going to stick down pieces. I didn't stick that very well, so I had to pull it off and re-stick. And so I just have, I don't know about you, but for myself I just have any offcuts of white cardstock or black cardstock, or any, I guess, coloured cardstock if I was using any others, just sitting underneath my really useful box that has my kit in it to the right of me, so that if I do need anything for stamping or to put a clear sticker on, or like in this situation to add some layering behind my photo, then I've got it easy at hand and I don't have to, you know, if you just throw it all out and then you have to cut into a new cardstock every time, it's obviously not going to be very economical at all. So I've got my layers going. They look really nice. They're a good size to fit in that area where the letters are missing. But on it goes. And then that hello, 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 I'm going to just put up on some foam tape so that it sits up over top. I did, again, see, trying to move it, but it goes where literally I put it at the beginning. So just trying to work out, there's a bit of a space between the XOXO and the photo. It's not that it's terrible that there's a space there, because I guess you can see the design of the alphabet, the gold alphabet stickers going down underneath that way. But it was something that I was considering when I'm trying to think about what kind of embellishment I'm doing. And really, it's not like it needs lots of embellishing because of that background. Sometimes the background, it's like using a cut file. Cut files don't overly always need lots of embellishing because there's such a big design happening. So I've got this printable that says beautiful, pulled that out, and then I'm thinking about that acrylic heart. I've got this gold paper clip, and in the Scraplifted photo of layout there was a paper clip. You'd think I would have moved that blue one on the left there, because I'm not working on them together, and put the one I'm scraplifting there so that you could see them side by side, but apparently that was just a bit too clever of myself to think about. But I do come back and finish that blue layout today, but in this video, but you know, I don't know. Anyway, isn't it funny sometimes you're not, I guess I was just too busy creating. So I'm going to have a play with some of these word stickers. I did commit to that acrylic heart. Just the colour is perfect. And on it goes. I don't need to add too much more, so I don't know why I kept looking and looking, because if you keep looking and looking, of course you're probably likely to find something. You're going to add more and you're going to put stuff on, but not necessarily always the way it needs to be. So I found this little label, the colour is right, and I'm going to add it up there to add some journaling. It's just about my son reading his report card, I believe. Sorry, because this layout was done quite a few months ago, I have not remembered exactly everything about it right at this moment. I have edited like the footage a while ago and had it sitting there waiting for me to voice over for a few months now, and I finally got to it. So you can see here, now I pull back the original, and that's where I realized that, oh yeah, I do want to have a border too. So I pull out a pink gel pen because we've got some pink going on. I didn't want to add some more gold. Don't think that would have been the right choice. And I'm going to work on this second layout. So just going to quickly find a photo that will work. So as I've said previously, I have my album that I'm working on, which is crazy enough to say it's 2018. And, well, actually a couple of albums. But you can see I've got some photos and some layouts made. So I'm just going to have a quick look as to what I want to use. And I find these multiple photos of my son at assembly. and I'm going to add them on there. Just because it's alphabet and letters, it was nice to pull both photos for, like each photo for each layout is about school. So it's not a bad correlation at all. So I've got 3 photos here, and ultimately I decide to use 2, I believe. 2 I can see now. So, and then I'm just going to use this cardstock here. Not a cardstock. Goodness, Lauren. So pattern paper here. So blue again. So it's always really fun to make monochromatic layouts. I think I do it a lot more than I probably should do. Although, why shouldn't I guess. It's my creative time. So whatever I want to do is what I want to do. Anyway. Oh my gosh. So I've just ripped the edge down the bottom so that there's a nice little torn part, and then I've cut the top, and deciding if I want to use that text background that's on the other side as a layering piece, and I obviously do not. Now we've got this little cut apart sheet here, and I'm just cutting the border off. I don't want to have the border on this little journaling spot, but I do want to have it all distressed. So I pulled out my distress tool, and I am just ripping up the edges, making it as distressed and grungy as possible. And then I do the most ultimate fun thing ever in terms of distress and grunginess to it. Do I? Sure, I'm pretty sure I remember doing it. Okay, maybe it's coming up. Let's see. If it doesn't, I will tell you what I was just literally thinking. Anyway, I'm just trying to decide if I want to add some other colours, and apparently that is not the case at all. So I'm going to commit and stick down this photo cluster. But first I'm going to add some paper. This is where I remember doing. So scrunch this up, and that gives it a nice little distressed look. Obviously that paper is huge, but I thought I was going to scrunch it up a bit more, I guess. So cut it off, but I do keep those pieces because that's easier to add somewhere else, or add as a layering behind like a 3x4 photo. Just cutting it down to be where it needs to be. It's nice to have that little ripple and roughness to it, and I've let some of that a lot of it shine down the bottom by being visible. So again, just sticking that down. There's not too much to these layouts, but they're quite not involved, but they're quite striking in their background, so there doesn't need to be too much going on. So quick journaling, and I'm just sticking that up with double-sided tape. Oh, bummer. It didn't do what I thought I was going to do. I literally thought I scrunched up that piece of journaling, but apparently I didn't, because I didn't show you, and it doesn't look like I've done it. But I've done it on other videos. I do like to just literally distress the edges and then crunch up the paper and then unfold it so that it you can see all the rips and all the folds and all the scrunchiness. It just makes it look really fun. Anyway, cut out these 2 little tickets. I've added some washi tape words above my journaling spot. I'm just going to add these 2 tickets as some layering. Just bringing that in up the top there just as a pop of interest and just to extend that journaling spot. And then adding a gold acrylic heart, and then I've just pulled out this little dish of sprinkles. Look how pretty it is. So I'm using the June kit to make this layout from Kitaholic Kits, which is kind of a bit loose because I use a couple of pieces of ephemera to make the layouts, but in the whole alphabet sheet obviously, but then I pull out some of these sprinkles. So I'm going to use my gold pen to add some splatters. And why did I not cover up my photo? Luckily I didn't get anything on my photo this time, but you think I would learn, because how many times have I shown you guys that it's happened? I just don't know sometimes. Anyway, here's a close-up of the 2 layouts. Hopefully this has inspired yourself to scrap lift, either yourself or someone else, and just use up some pieces. So now that sticker sheet is no longer sitting in my stash, because that's where it would probably go after I killed the kit. I probably wouldn't use up all those stickers if I didn't do something so fun like this. Anyway, have a great day, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.